Welcome everyone to Saturday Afternoon Poetry. Very happy to say that today we have two featured poets, and following that will be a reading from the online edition of Four Feathers Press Weather. That's right. You believe it? 42 poets have poems about weather. So it's really astounding. But first, you must be astounded by our two featured poets. So first up is Patrick Connors from a distant land where Rush started out their careers. Tell us about it, Pat.
Okay, sure, Don. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. And yes, my favorite band, Rush. I live in Toronto, Ontario, in a specific part of Toronto called Don Mills, and about 10 minutes away from me, about a 15-minute walk away from me, the band Rush, who are my favorite band of all time. The two founding members, Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee, grew up, and
Well, we'll
there's
talk later about that. Oh,
scenes
yeah.
from the video Subdivisions at a basement bar in the neighborhood, which is now a karaoke bar. So I don't think it's the same kind of bar that it was in those days. But yes, I am from the land where Rush came from. And now I suppose I should read. It's
Yes.
important. It's important to always be ready. A poem is the sunrise after darkest night, an unexpected answer to much fervent prayer. It is grace extended from a neglected muse, only asking to be shared and seen, heard and felt. A poem is inspiration quickly recorded before lost, cut down, built up, cut down again, until it's ready to be read. We were just talking about springtime in Canada and how you can walk through different parts of your house and the weather changes. Springtime in Canada. April snow billows and blows, but goes nowhere, with drifts just long enough to cause accidents which change lives forever. Blustery, wet wind rattles rooftops, topples, and tears down trees older than the neighborhood around them, and makes small dogs pensive. Springtime in Canada means we watch children play hockey on outdoor rinks, millionaires play baseball in dome stadiums, and say, I can't wait until it's really spring. It is planting seeds in unreceptive soil, hoping to make life out of nothing. Cold, cracked hands, the mark of your labors, and you know that the trying is worthwhile. I know a great poet, or I knew a great poet from Sacramento, California, by the name of Stephen Michael Brzezinski, who moved to Canada and spent most of the second half of his life going by Mick Burrs. The epigraph from my poem Becoming is his brilliant poem Heart. It is always becoming a poem, this furnace, this fire, in a corner of the body's dark. This is the place that burns whatever has been broken. And now here's my poem. The world says we are the result of the residue it leaves upon us. Don't let this be. Burn this dross from me. No matter the pain it brings, I will not be like everyone else. Mold me in your image. Form me in the refiner's crucible, that my thoughts, my work, and my poetry may bring you glory. Let all the indescribable pain endured while becoming understandable bring clarity to my vision and integrity to my life. Then my words would blaze a trail across the midnight sky and be a likeness of the light which will forever shut out darkness. The first few poems I read are from my first two books with Mosaic Press, The Other Life and The Long Defeat. This is a newer poem, which Don honored me by publishing in Turtle Island Poetry in the other Monday, January of this year. This is called Listen, and as luck would have it, it references Rush. Decades of telephone work and cranking Rush to the required volume have damaged my hearing. I have taken this as an opportunity to listen deeply. I am filled with joy by the laughter of children, Branford Marsalis playing two saxophones, and bold proclamations of solidarity. The crunch of fresh fallen snow under heavy winter boots, the chirp of the first bird of spring, the sizzle of a grill on a scorching Saturday afternoon. I am nourished by the sound of an autumn wind rattling dry leaves, the bark of a friendly dog, the greeting of a loved one. The inflation of my lungs as my heart slows to rest, the eternal word as it is etched on the universe, and the portion given to get me through each day. Now we're back to poems from. Thank you. We're back to poem from the Long Defeat. The title of the Long Defeat comes from a line from the poem by the brilliant Muriel Rukeyser, "The Root of the Wine." If you can remember, look it up. "The Root of the Wine" by Muriel Rukeyser. Right at the start of the pandemic, I was just reading so much and going all over the place with reading. And I happened to find this poem, which had a line in it, "The long defeat that brings us what we know." And I borrowed that as the line for this poem. He loves the beach. He walks barefoot along the shoreline, as close to the water without getting wet, while as far away from people as possible. Like every man, he experiences loss, failure, isolation, accusations, numerous as the grains of sand between his burning toes. The beach is where he finds peace. It is his favorite place to pray to the one who formed this beauty as a gift to all who would receive it. He prays for the world which once again suffers so much. He prays it will not be swept away by rising tides of hatred. He prays for his family. He prays for his friends. He prays for his enemies. He prays to be able to tell the difference. He rests at the end of a concrete pier. I have not been overcome, he proclaims to the setting sun, and that will have to do for now. Thank you. So, as my uh, revenge on artificial intelligence, I wrote a poem about AI. Artificial intelligence can't write a good poem. It does not know when to use alliteration and how much, or when to pull back. It can't measure breath by words. AI does not have soul. By the time this poem is published, programmers may have fed the machine Shakespeare and Yeats, Dorothy Livesey and Maya Angelou, as well as a system to tell which poems are considered good. But AI will still not be able to write a good poem because AI never scored a goal or caught a fish. AI never broke an arm or burst their first pimple. AI was never betrayed by a friend or a false ideal. AI has never fallen in love. Artificial intelligence can provide a succinct reply to emails, write worker reviews with guidelines for advancement, and maybe even take over the world if we let it. But AI will never write a good poem. Thank you very much. So I'm going to read two more poems because I'm way under time. And I'm not going to read that one because that's one of the ones I disqualified because I love Americans and I don't want to have any enmity between Canada and the United States. So I don't want to have any trigger
Have you been
warning.
following the news lately? There seems to be a lot of enmity going on.
Not on my end. And I work with
Okay.
Americans and my customers are Americans. Here we go. Prisoner. I have lost my voice. The only word I have ever felt beating in my heart, echoing through my mind, has been taken from me. The other prisoners hiss and whisper the words the broken-hearted cannot say out loud and leave me in solitary silence. But I know why. They don't understand the burden I am bound to carry and must keep hidden deep inside. This burden keeps me alive. It gives me passion and purpose and is the only thing I have which is real. If this word trapped in my throat found daylight at the tip of my tongue, I would sing and shout, laugh and cry, and my sentence would be complete. If I could see her again, make love to her slowly and gently, if I could say her name once more, then I would be free. Thank you very much. Before I read my last poem, I want to thank Don for doing this and talk about the wonderful friendship that I have had with many Americans in my life. And I think American people are wonderful. And I think that things like this, where we collaborate together as neighbors and as friends, are very appealing to me. And I really am grateful to be a part of this and want to keep this kind of collaboration going on between Canada and the United States.
Yeah, I
Uh,
wonder, Patrick, you said there was a poem you couldn't read for that reason.
I write a lot of
You,
political
re
poetry.
you really put my thinking cap on when you said that.
I write a lot of political poetry. Okay,
Please
here you
distract
go.
me with a
Instead of
poem.
ending off with the poem I was going to end off with, so your president wants to make us the 51st state. And this is my political satire response to it. It's called Zip. I confess that Canada is a far from perfect nation. We have deep issues from within, but the answers to our problems are not beyond our current borders. One thing I definitely don't want is a zip code. I find it difficult to trust a system which uses numbers when I am far more comfortable in the world of letters. And by the way, how can you reliably mail something called a letter by a method that uses only numbers? I want to make something clear. I love Americans, good friends, family. Some of the people I admire the most are Americans. However, there is absolutely no way I want to be one. No chance at all. Zip, zero, zilch, nil, nada, bupkis, diddly squat, the big goose egg, shut out, shut up, shut down, washout, shipwreck, false step, fiasco, calamity, snafu, balls up, faux pas, debacle, disaster. If I have my choice, I will stay a citizen of the country where I am from, no matter the circumstances of the next world order, and hope we can remain friends. I also wanted to thank my publisher, Howard Astor of Mosaic Press. I posted a link to my book, The Long Defeat, in the chat. You can order it on my. I went to visit my publisher today, and he wants you, even as Americans, to order it from them, not from Amazon or Barnes and Noble or anybody else. And there's also at the bottom of that page a link to my first book, The Long Defeat. I read some poems out of it. I hope you enjoyed my reading. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else. And thank you very much for letting me be a part of this.
Thank you, Patrick. Have you ever considered California being annexed to Canada?
I consider California to be very much, from what I've heard, I've never been there, to be a place that has an almost Canadian viewpoint in terms of being a more liberal place and a more welcoming place. And that I'm only going on what I've heard. I've never been there. I do know lots of Canadians have moved there to retire.
I can solve this problem for you in less than a minute, Patrick. Simply by
Great.
introducing you to our next featured poet, our second featured poet today of two, from California, Mary Langer Thompson. Should switch
You're
over to
muted,
her once she
Mary.
unmutes. You got to unmute, Mary. Then you'll be in the speaker's box.
Mute. Okay, now can you hear me? Thank you. Oh, I enjoyed your reading, Pat, very much. And
Thank
I
you
am
so
from
much.
California, and I'm from the little town of Apple Valley. And if you don't know where that is, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans' home place, and they were writers too, at least Dale was. And we're over the Cajon Pass. And Don and I go back a long way. I never thought we'd meet again after I moved from the San Fernando Valley, but we kept in touch. And I thank him for publishing my Sweating the Small Stuff in Four Feathers Press just recently. And I'm going to read from that. And please tell me if I'm close to time a little later. And because Pat read one on AI, I'm going to start with one on AI. How the GPS stole my husband. Come ride with me, she whispered. And once he did, she never criticized. She simply, yet seductively said, recalculating, recalculating. So close he could reach out, touch her. She convinced him to turn off highways, then lured him to the back roads, promising he would never get lost again. Not wanting to crowd him, I purred, when possible, make a U-turn. But he couldn't or wouldn't. Now I am recalculating, retaliating. Thank you.
I haven't forgotten that poem. That's a great poem.
Thank you. I went out to Outward Bound when Don was teaching that for 2 summers, and that was real enjoyable. I was a teacher and then an administrator for my career, and now I'm retired. And I wrote this poem called Gum on Cement, sticking with the theme of sweating the small stuff. Look at these spots. Gray globs pounded by thousands of feet, chewed by students from 50 years ago or last year, before the no gum policy. Consider the mouths each came from, perhaps now politicking or looking cool, clacking new pieces in fancy cars. There are plaques behind glass, blue ribbons and donated tiles, but the best memorial to students who didn't swallow everything we taught, these nameless gum spots on cement. My next one is called Wishbone and Moonglow. And this poem I submitted years ago, and that made me think maybe I really was a poet. And Angels Without Foundation accepted it as the California poet and made me the senior California poet of 2012. There was one in each state. And this poem has been republished several times. Wishbone in Moonglow. I leave you to the doctors and nurses. Come home to our dark kitchen, that dry, brittle wishbone still on the counter, illuminated by a moonbeam. We were going to split it together, but not now. And anyway, it seems silly to pull in opposite directions as though rivals. I step closer. The bone shape is an open heart, and I know that I want for you what you need for me, what we hope for each other, until the clouds cover the moon forever, that the light not leave us tonight.
It is lovely.
Thank you.
I can see why. It's been published so many times.
I should have worn my wishbone necklace today. This one's a little lighter. At the dollar store, I found what I was searching for today. First, I chose a wobble-free cart to lean on, pushed past the Tootsie Rolls, Snapple tea, bamboo shoots and pellet balls, lead-filled dishes, stinky candles and thin dish towels. The book that won an obscure prize. Imagine your literature landing there. Oddly shaped pencils and fortune cookies, Hostess cupcakes, and Cracker Jacks boxes with prizes, shoe polish and socks. There it was on the shelf in that narrow aisle. My rock with wisdom inscribed for only $1. The next one, my father, I'm into genealogy too, And my father was born in Dresden, Germany. And he came here, but his mother and family survived the bombing of Dresden. And the only person, and this is as political as I'll get, was Kurt Vonnegut, who said that that was a travesty to bomb little Dresden. The hands of his Dresden doll. It was a covert operation, giving her money for the candy store, except this time she didn't buy candy, but caps and a cap pistol. No one had told her not to rip the red rolls, that they could ignite unexpectedly, burn her fingers. And no one ever told her that her father's tears when he came home from work and saw the bandages were as much for the burning of his hometown as for his daughter's hands. Okay, this one is Sonnet for a Sour Grape. And it was published on a winery blog one time. Sonnet for a Sour Grape. For centuries, snobs scorned you, stomped on you, banned you as inferior, unworthy, unpalatable to more than a few. They tried to kill you, refusing to see you would not be crushed. You would rise above your origins to make your announcement. I am the mother of royals you love. Chardonnay, the queen of the whites, I sent to you with 16 more noble children. We learned you pressed against the prized Pinot. Now they will lift you up with all your kin. Now the entire world is in the know. Little Gouy Blanc, I lift my glass to you. You have risen in sweet revenge. Mon Dieu. Okay, this next one is called The Empty Nest. Like Bruegel's old peasant in The Robber of Birds' Nests, I could have had it, abandoned in that small bush. I wanted to own it, add eggs for decoration. It was perfect, mine to take and keep whole without even risking my neck like the boy in that painted tree. But I didn't. I needed to declutter. Now the family's raised and gone. Simplify. It lasted through strong winds, but the snowstorm was too much. And like that old man, so busy mocking the boy, he lands in a pond, I'm the fool. And the nest, last I saw it, a pile of twigs. On tornado watch in Colorado, 1980. You had to deliver your first lines or line. So we changed direction from the basement to the school where we watched the kindergartners, particularly you, step forward to say, I am an amoeba. I am only me. The storm abated and the three of us, no longer amoebas, went home to continue our multi-celled, multiple blessed lives. Thank you. Butterflies Alive is forthcoming in Silver Birch magazine, which is an online journal. Butterflies Alive. Watch your step, butterflies on the path. I enter the screened garden where a giant swallowtail hovers near a blue hibiscus. A painted lady flutters by. I long for a cloudless sulfur to land on me lightly, not as the world presses. Girl with hair in simple cornrows reads the sign that says, they live for only a week or two. She confides, I'm afraid of dying. I say, these butterflies don't seem afraid. They just want to sip nectar. She says she's not so sure about that. We watch a mourning cloak briefly close its wings. Thank you. The Perfect Web. Sunday morning at Thelma's coffee shop, mid-sentence, outside the unscreened window, I see the monofilament mandala suspended between two pink irises. In the middle, the tiny brown spider curled, still center point, rests after creation. And by the way, Don chose the cover for me of the book with the leaf on top of the grate, which I really like.
That's my driveway. I took the picture.
Yeah, thank you. In your driveway. I didn't know.
It seemed like a good marriage of ideas. Yeah.
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 How much time do I have?
You're on your 2-poem warning. 2 more
Two-poem
poems.
warning. Okay. Could I tell you about the book I edited? I've never edited a book before, so this took me 7 years, and I'm the founder of the Poemsmiths of the Mojave High Desert. We've been together, it's a critique group, for 10 years. And one day I brought a poem about a woman from the Bible, and they started bringing poems. And so finally, after a couple of years, they wanted to do a chapbook. And I said, well, let's see if anybody else is interested in this topic, since you seem to be. And we are of all faiths and beliefs. And so we got 150 poems, and we narrowed it down to 92 after 3 days of judging. And it took me quite a while to get it together, but it's here. It's called From Silence to Speech, Women of the Bible Speak Out. And I'd like to read 2 poems, if I have a 2-poem limit still. The one that started it all, which I wrote, called Just Kidding. It's about Sarah from the Bible, who finds out she's pregnant very late in life. Just kidding. You did laugh, said the Lord to Sarah after she denied it. Had she argued, she might have said, what? I can't giggle because I'll be in my late 90s, full of arthritis, afraid of falling, let alone pushing a kid through my lame loins. I can't titter because you're reminding me I gave Abraham my sister handmaiden, and you know how that turned out. I can't snicker because the baby will have more energy than Abe and me put together. We'll all be losing our teeth and wetting the bed at the same time and never get a full night's sleep until death. You did laugh, said the Lord. So for my last poem, my mother is turning 103 in June, and she wrote this at age 95. And I can't believe she wrote a poem about a woman of the Bible sticking a stake in a guy's head, but she did. This is called Sisera's Mother. What keeps my son so long from home? 'Tis not his wont so late to roam. He promised me some spoils to bring, a necklace, tapestry, or ring. Perhaps a maiden caught his eye. Perhaps his chariot went awry. I wonder what has been his fate to keep my son from me so late. His iron chariots are strong. Surely now he won't be long. Hark, a messenger comes near. No doubt the spoils with him appear. Sisera did not arrive. Jael left him not alive. A tent stake driven through his head left no doubt that he was dead. Israelites did the battle win. Sisera's mother's fate was dim. No spoils had she, no joy had she. Sisera's head was with the enemy. So it's available on Amazon and Kindle. So if you're interested, there's all forms of poetry, ekphrastic, abecedarian. There's even a gangsta Hail Mary, which is a little controversial, but I love it. So thank you for letting me read, and to read with you, Pat. This was great. Thanks so much. I'm going to relax and enjoy the rest of your readings.
And did you put a link for the book in the chat? Can you do that? Is that possible?
I can do. I just saw it, so I'll just find it again and put it in there for you.
Okay, thanks so much.
Hey, all right. That's
Thank
fantastic. Thank you, Pat. All right. We'll put on a different hat here. We've got 9 people representing weather poetry. Gee, that sounds different when I say it out loud. But you know what I'm trying to say. So I'll put it up, the websites. Of course, Did I remember to bring it up? Yeah, there we go. Now I can share it. Okay. And it's really easy to find the poets. All you do is search for them in the old search box. And according to my listing, our first poet is going to be Heather, based on proximity in the list. Heather, there she is. So this should work. There we go. Yeah.
These were ridiculous. Which one should I read?
Well, you may think so, but this is being recorded, so this could be watched by the people who inspired you to write this poem. What I
All
got to do
right.
is make it a little larger, right? It's a little bit small. Let me make it
Yeah,
a little bit bigger.
no, that's true. It is.
There you go.
I'll take my glasses off. It'll help too.
This is an
Uh,
interesting poem. I think people find it interesting.
yes, this was inspired
Yeah.
by a conversation between myself and Marvin Lewis Dorsey, as many of you know.
It was a
Um,
fervently religious poet when it comes to the muse, right? The muse, not to be confused with news.
yeah.
All right, I'll shut up.
Uh,
Go ahead.
is poetry fake news? My poetry is not fake news, he said. It is directly channeled from my muse. Deeply offended, he asked why I said all poetry is fake news. Nothing about poetry is fake. Fickle though we may be as poets, we do not perform sleights of hand, shadow work with our fingers or mouths. My muse is coy, seductive, with its filtered self-pity cry. There are no fickle poets, he says. I hear fickle, I think of pickle. My muse spoke this to me. I saw shadow work, a trick, myself in the mirror. I am not that old, I told myself as I picked up my pen. Well, thank you.
That's a delight. That was a delight. Delightful answer, very poetic answer. And I realized since there are only 9 of us, I think you can read your other poem too if you like. Would you like to?
Okay, yeah, sure. There.
Oh,
Heather,
and there's
There's
a haiku in there
one thing I
too.
loved about that poem was how you got to the one-word lines that are just like Marvin Lewis's.
yeah, thank you. I know. I really channeled that. Okay, this is
Yeah.
also the weather. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. I hope Marvin Lewis is not offended though. I just hope.
No, he got over it. He's a very fervent musologist, so he's learning. He's learning.
Oh, that's good. This is also the weather. I fell asleep while you held my leg and dreamed we made out.
Let's
And
hold that
then,
thought for a moment. We're holding that thought. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah, holding that thought.
It's that
It's
kind
the
of poem.
sky.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the sky again. My God descended from a rusty nail-colored mist, tattered wombs in tow. Replace man made to dust, she said, eating a guava popsicle.
symbolism cannot be missed. You have to forgive
Yeah.
me, Heather. Today's my anniversary, so my mind is on your subjects. Yes. Okay. All right.
Oh, well, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And
So your
and
poems are very timely for today.
and
We next up.
congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's make this about RA. Oh yeah, her name comes up in full right away. Okay, so I go to that,
I guess I've
and it
been there
should be there.
before.
You know it.
Okay. Storm tracks. The wind from the continental fossil fuel storm was steadily rising. Already my best friend on the West Coast had been sealed inside her trailer by a wall of ice. Friends in LA have been wearing jackets and sweaters on Zoom. In the middle of the continent, long discussions about warm clothes, candles, and other survival kit as friends blinked out one by one. Closer to the east, I check in with family. We grew up with this, so they aren't much bothered about it. The meteorologist said the punch would come yesterday, but it was eerily still, as if we had fallen into a vortex of breathless waiting, while the rest of the continent was blown and tossed and tornadoed. Now the house rocks with gusts. The hen house stands firm. I make hot chocolate and light candles, wondering how long that will be a thing as the cocoa plantations shrivel up and bees no longer exist to make wax. I want to purely enjoy this pause from civilization, without the future looming, casting its shadow over the lights in the darkness.
Mm. Fabulous. You may continue if you wish.
Thank you. I think I already actually mentioned this, but I'll look at the weather. I look out at the backfield, the snow blowing sideways, piling little drifts on the corners of my kitchen window. I look out at the hay barn. The rain beats against the living room window and puddles in the tractor tracks down below. I look out across the street at the blue sky and the sun shining between the clouds, playing catch me if you can. All at once, all the weather, all around my house. Doing Mark Twain one better. If you don't like the weather, just look out a different window.
Yeah. Way to go, Ray. As batting 1,000 as always. Well, speaking of interesting poets, Dean is next.
Okay.
I'm trying to get his thing to move here. There we go. Dean has very special poetry. Take a good look, people. Oh, yeah.
uh, okay. Well, I'm going to try something different, and I'll start
Oh,
out
okay.
by saying something about AI. I'm going to say that AI is a reflection of the masters and the creators of that technology. And so that has a
And
lot
not
to
to
do
mention
with
the
it.
creators of the creators,
Oh yeah, I just
Yeah, yeah, so that's a good point.
I would think any technology can be totally manipulative, and that's probably happening. And I have to make a full disclosure. I myself have written hundreds of lines of code that today, because of what I was directed to do, could be traumatizing many people.
Hmm.
So I'm part of that evil empire. Also,
Thank you for coming out, sir.
yes, what can I say? And I was a teacher too, but I decided to leave teaching and join the evil empire. I could have been
Probably
like Don. I could have done good things, but
better
sorry.
money.
Yeah, in fact, some of my code might be used in bombing, I don't know. Anyway, getting back to this, I wrote this poem and I thought, oh, I'll try an AI song generation thing. And I had written this poem and I thought it's not an example of good line endings or even good poetry necessarily, but I thought it had a flow and I stayed with it for that reason. And I thought, well, if it has a flow that people can read, how about a song generator? Now I've heard other ones before in the past because you could assume my computer background, we had exposure to these things. They're always terrible. But I also see the same faults today, but I won't comment on them. So I used 11 Labs, and there's another site that Don knows about. It's Suno, S-N-O, S-N-O,
SNUO. Yeah.
like the word sun with the letter O after it.
Mhm.
And they're both, I think, based on the same model, so they would probably do the same thing. So what
Well,
I'm going
this
to
we got to
do,
hear. You're going to play it, right?
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
stop
gonna
my
try.
share. I think if I stop,
Yeah.
well, no,
Yeah,
I
you
don't have to
stop your
stop the share.
Well, I'm gonna send
How does
you a
this work?
You have to stop it.
It's just going to come through.
Yeah, just stop it, and then I can share.
Okay, got it. Okay, stopping share. Go ahead, sir.
Right, right. And so I'm gonna try this. This is the first time I've ever tried this, you know. I heard you can share videos, so I'm
New
gonna share
technology.
one.
Let's try it out.
Yeah. So anyway, I think you see the moon, right?
Yeah,
If you don't see the moon, put thumbs down, and I'll look at your picture.
see it, see it.
I see the moon.
Oh, good. All right. So here it goes.
Not to mention the moon behind your head.
Oh, wait a second. I got it. Sorry,
Oh, you got
guys.
to share the sound. You got it. No, you were
That's
good. You just have to remember to share sound.
exactly. I forgot that it
But
doesn't
you can only
always remember.
share sound when you're in the sharing.
Really?
I'll help you with that. I'll help you with that because I'm experienced with that. I have a music channel every Monday.
I know you do. That's why I'm not afraid to
So I
do
can
it
help you.
here.
I can help you because this is going to work. I'm getting excited here.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do
and bring
it.
up the player. Okay, so you're good to go there. Now you go to the bar at the top and
Of
where it
the
says more, it could be at the bottom or the top. Where it says more, you click on that, and in the menu, there's one for sharing computer sound.
Oh, you know, my
Yeah, and that could
screen's
just
messed me up. I can't see
that's
the more.
so like on the far right side here.
Whoa.
Can you see it? Let's see.
Yeah, let me do it another way. I know there's another
More.
way. Okay,
Okay.
hang on. Oh, now the whole thing's gone away.
Yeah, you took the share off.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
Sonny
gonna
gonna say? You
share.
took the share off. Oh my God.
I know. Can't you tell I use computers? I'm so experienced, you know. Um, and here we go.
Oh
And
man.
then I
I
click
watched
over
too much
here.
television as a child, as you can see.
This makes us feel better. If you're having trouble, then it's not so bad for
Yeah.
us.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, what I love about Suno is I have no musical talent whatsoever, but I can put my villanelle to music.
yeah, and I'll put it this way. You know, the program who made it this way thought all humans think this way, which is the common sin we all have as programmers. Anyway, they think it makes sense, you know. They say, who would argue with what we do?
It's a brave new world, yeah. So,
And also we have an administration that thinks like that. So anyway,
oh God.
hey, I'm political. What can I
I want
say?
to, does Canada number their states?
Anyway,
Yeah, I was just side thought there. Okay.
yeah, now you should hear it. Yeah, you
But
can hear it because I can hear it in my
no,
headphones.
don't hear it. I think you got to share sound.
No, it's really too
I
quiet.
hear
Oh,
it.
wait, there it is. Yeah. Oh, very reflective music.
Sometimes I wish I could read with my eyes closed, that I could hear the waves of words with a rhythm like a mountain lake, with children on the swings, the breeze cool and the clouds gray, about to rain. My mind taking in the experience of a peaceful moment that returns to me again and again. And when things almost unhinged, I could hear where my heart was confused, or at least realize life can be serene. And call me to walk along
There we go.
the shore and cherish the breeze, cherish the breeze. Again
Sounds
and
like a hit.
again.
That sounds like a hit, man.
Well, the thing is,
That's
um,
nice.
no, it's what it is uh, uh, I'll just give away the secret. The AI has gobbled up so many songs that
Mm.
they're
Can
likely
do
to
just
find a
about
tune that
anything.
matches what you
Oh.
asked for. And all I did was click ambient music,
Mhm.
and it went with that. But I have to admit, it gave it an ending that I didn't think of by repeating, and I thought, boy, that was a nice
Oh
touch.
yeah,
Mm.
That must be from some Grammy-winning song.
it sure sounded good. Dang.
Yeah, but it's just the idea. The thing is, like I said, I didn't write it to be a great poetics from from enjambment and stuff, and I use a far too many articles. But I thought it did have a flow, and even an AI can find it. So I thought that was interesting. And I'll just do one poem today.
Well,
Thank you.
good poetry always breaks the rules anyway, so it's the
Well,
whole
yeah, we
point.
got new frontiers. It's a new frontier, and Ellen maybe says it's beautiful, so you can put that on the back cover. Okay. Yeah. All right. Get back to sharing. That's right. Okay. Oh, wow. That was a great discovery. Let's see. All right. So you don't want to read the other poem, but I'll just show it to people. Oh, there it is. What an accident. So go to the website to actually read it in depth. Okay. We better move along. We've got Mary is next. Mary Meyer Shapiro. And
Okay, I'm here.
yep, there you are, Mary. Now you can read more than
What
one
one
poem
did
if you wish.
what one did you want me to read?
I would normally say that, but because there's just a few of us today, so you can read more than one if you wish.
Whatever you want me to read, I'll read.
Okay, start with this one.
Okay. Weather the storm. Forecasting the environment. Meteorites fall all over. Comets floating by, leaving flash of exhaust behind. Chill of atmosphere. Glare on eyes. Feeling sweat pouring down like a thunderstorm. Then blanket of clouds covering the area. Oops. As you walk into a crowded room, not knowing what to expect as you weather the storm.
Okay.
All right. Tricks of weather. Go south in the winter. Stay warm. Not always the case. Not predictable. South cold. Some snow. April 1st came early this year.
Gotta read this one.
All right. Dancing in the sky. Dancing in the wind, blowing back and forth, doing do-si-do of square dance. West cities and trade winds coming together as ballet dances twirl around, tornadoes doing the twist, hurricanes performing the tango, fast pace moving back and forth, Hal- oops, Blue executing the continuous Congo line, breakdancing, embracing the moonstones. Rain comes down, tap, 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 Sapphire waltz in the wind, weather having its own dance, expressing gestures without word.
Oh, that's a great finish. Great finish. Way to go,
Oh,
Mary.
that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. So many ways
And
to look at the weather.
yeah.
Cool.
And how many people here know about do-si-do? I do-si-doed when I was in second and third grade.
Yep.
Yeah. You too? Okay, just wondering. All right, Ellen is up.
Okay, hi everyone. Wonderful to hear everyone.
Okay. But it's a good one. And a good two.
Season of Hate. Winter was madness. Ice made life more slippery. It was full of pain. Sunshine needed. The rain washed away the beautiful chalk drawings, sidewalks filled with tears.
Mm.
Where are the truth clouds? Read all about it. There was 100-year storm, not of rain, but lies.
Ah,
See,
and that is the haiku of an award-winning poet.
Oh,
Yes,
wow. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to turn to the guy who was the star of the show before this show. There was a little thing before this show, if anybody came here early, and that fellow's name is Carl Stillwell. AKA Kaloki. Are you ready, sir? You got to unmute, sir. You're muted. You're muted.
The extinction will not be televised. Not everything that is space can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is space. James Baldwin. State Farm will not be there like a good neighbor. Nationwide will not be there by your side. You will not know what's in your wallet. There won't be 7 ways to help generate income once your portfolio reaches 1 million. Because the extinction will not be televised. The extinction will not be televised. The extinction will have no sky's the limit addresses given to seniors rejoicing for graduating from high school or college. You will not be able to buy a barbecue bacon double cheeseburger combo at Jack in the Box. You will not take off pounds while picking out on pizza. The extinction will not be televised. The extinction will be brought to you by 20 transnational corporations and the Pentagon, which are responsible for more than 35% of the total global carbon emissions since 1965. The extinction will lose no sleep over a record carbon dioxide level of 420 particles per million in our planet's atmosphere. The extinction will not be televised. The extinction will be brought to you by China's Earth's leading source. The extinction will be brought to you by China, Earth's leading source of carbon dioxide emissions in 2020, with 30% of global total. And Donald Trump, who claims climate change is a hoax, and Joe Biden, who said it is an existential threat, but approved fossil fuel drilling permits on public and tribal lands at a faster rate than any other president before him. The extinction will not be televised. The extinction gave George Herbert Walker Bush a standing ovation at the Real Earth Summit after telling the delegates the American way of life is not up for negotiation. There will be no I read that one. There will be no sky's the limit commencement addresses for graduating high school, college seniors, because the extinction will not be televised. The extinction will not be televised. The resistance to extinction and rebellion for life will be brought to you by kayak activists in Seattle protesting Arctic oil drilling in ancestral habitats of whales, seals, polar bears, and Inuit people. By Standing Rock water protectors facing water blasts and freezing weather because you can't drink oil, keep it in the soil. By Extinction Rebellion activists supergluing themselves to government buildings and shutting down the London Bridge to protest Britain's inaction on catastrophic global warming. By white-haired grandmothers locking themselves to bulldozers to stop the construction of pipelines carrying toxic tar sands oil. By sweet teen Greta Thunberg telling world leaders, how dare you? We are at the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. By climate activists, indigenous water protectors protesting the construction of Enbridge Line 3, which violates treaty lines of the Anishinaabe people, along with threatening their sacred wild rice watersheds in Minnesota. By divestment campaigns, calls for banks to end their financing to fossil fuels. By more than 330 U.S. research scientists sending a letter to President Biden telling him that listening to science means acting on science, stopping new fossil fuel projects, opposing industry delay tactics, and declaring a national climate emergency. By over 1,000 land defenders, water protectors, environmentalists who have been murdered since the climate accord was signed in Paris in 2015. By young climate activists from the Sunrise Movement chanting to Democratic Senator Joe Manchin as he stepped off his $5 million house bought by fossil fuel money. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. Because the extinction will not be televised. The extinction will not be televised. The extinction will not be televised.
Based on The Revolution Will Not Be Televised by Gil Scott-Heron, who was an American jazz poet, singer, musician, and author, known for his work as a spoken word performer in the 1970s and 1980s, in case you didn't know. All right, 4 readers left. We've got Marietta, Manos. Are you ready, Marietta?
Yes. In my absence, you will come to comprehend the essence of love, and chilly raindrops will descend from the eye of the sky. The words will echo through this enigmatic weather, and your sorrow will be overwhelmed. Promenade. Hullabaloo and hurly-burly tumults. Ashes of long buried, heroic memories. A plethora of antiquated emotions. A need for a new, divine vitality. Dark air, illuminated parks, and varied offers. A topsy-turvy state of things. Never-ending hopes, dreams, and romantic thoughts. Time of lost will and engraved walls that were repeatedly conquered. Hearts filled with fear, sincerity, and strong willpower. Snow crystals of spring, heating up dark days and early falls, uneven weather. Blooming flowers and happiness, perennial conversations, coffee breaks and never lands. Awakening, self-assurance, unwavering, self-worth, earnestness. Sundays and never say die preaches, protean and tormented clouds, sacred cenotaphs, tangos in the darkness, transient love and intense rage, whirlwind. Minds wandering through space and time in search of understanding, will o' the wisps, chimeras, existentialistic feelings, self-reflexivity, happiness. My dream, irreversibly, the sun's yellow hue seeps into leaves calmly. They descend from the jabuticaba trees onto the obsidian soil. Unnoticeably, I drift into slumber beside you. There is a chill, a biting cold, and a new weather invades my dreamlike realm. As long as the trees wear yellow, life remains precarious. Without a doubt, a puzzle of hailstones lingers in this autumnal fragrance of blossoms, ready to shatter everything in its vicinity. Unwaveringly, I possess a strength greater than steel when my desire to endure ignites. You linger still behind the waterfall that unleashes dread. Frantic, the night descends as the moon throbs with light. There are shadows in the darkness, and I cannot find the way out.
Wow. You hear him say it every time. Marietta's such a good reader. She can read the phone book and make it interesting.
Yeah.
Great reading.
Yeah, John, can I ask a question?
Yeah, far away.
Yeah, Marietta, where are you reading from? What country?
France.
You're up at 4 in the morning?
No, it's midnight.
Oh, midnight. Okay.
18.
Wow. Well,
Well,
fantastic job. Fantastic job.
that even adds more to it.
Yeah. And now for something completely different, we turn to our resident artist, Robert Fleming, who always has some intriguing art to share.
Thank you, Don. So the first image is the community that I live in called Four Seasons. It is in Lewis, Delaware. In February 2025, our community had a snowstorm with over 12 inches of snow. And after the snow, I walked around the community with my camera. I took several photos. This was one which I edited to create a whiteout effect, which was a classic black and white effect. I also added the feature of a shadow, which imagines that you might attach the photo to your refrigerator.
It looks like it would work as a postcard too. Yeah, like a
Yes.
card form. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
it could work like a card also.
And speaking of cards, wow.
This was inspired by a technique I learned as a photographer when I was a teenager. It's called what is it called? It's called a photo proof set, and it allows on actually a photo contact sheet. It allows you to show the person who's going to buy your photographs maybe 10 images at a time on film without printing them, and it saves money. In 1999, when I started doing a lot of digital art and converting photographs, I started doing the same thing with digital art, creating a proof set. This is a study of the ice in Rehoboth Bay, Delaware, which is about 3 miles from where I live, where I've done 14 different edits of the photo, both black and whites, and color. The one on the bottom line in the center called Trippy Trace, I actually did print on paper and show in several galleries. It turns out to be a wonderful impressionist image. So let's
vibrant.
go to the last.
Yeah, it's a really vibrant one.
Let's go to the last one.
Coming up, sir.
Thank you, Don. So this was created with a software tool on the web which allows you to create an image in the style of Jackson Pollock. So I created it using the tool. There were several parts of it which were colors other than brown. I wanted all of the images in the front to be brown, so I edited those to be brown, and then I added the opposite color to brown as the background, which is blue, and this I called it Jackson's Gravy in blue.
And those are the earth colors, right? The earth and sky as well. So that it made me think of that watching this. So that
Yes,
was very,
it is.
Yeah.
It is, and it is in the style of a painter called Juan Miró, who was from Spain.
Very educational. Thank you, sir. We have 2 readers left. Barry and me, I do believe. Barry. Cool. Here you go, sir. Remember to unmute. What am I saying? Gotta unmute. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So I've got the one poem.
There's normally one. You can do one if you want to. Oh, you only have one. Okay, then no sweat. No sweat. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Happy anniversary, Don.
Thank you. I have to admit, my mind is in 2 places right now. I'll tell you why if you want to get deeply distracted.
Okay. Sousa the March King. March arrived in late February. Snow softly tiptoeing like a sleepy house cat. The wind roaring like lions. Seasons changing without military precision or derision, like a discordant band disturbing the end of winter. The poodles and I hunkered down with books, movies, and occasional treats, although the puppy found the snow interesting, especially when pushing icy crystals around with her nose and running laps in the backyard. The older dog finding the soft, warm confines of her wire crate more to her liking. While Sousa required the structure of marches, the order of finely tuned music, the punctuation of drums and fifes, to usher in parades and other public spectacles, I embrace the quirkiness of a season's unexpected comedy. I enjoy the anomalies of a good winter storm and a rhythmic weather. I want to embrace the uncertainty and the burden of cyclical change and expectation. Surprise me with a snowball on the 4th of July.
Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
Come to
No.
Canada. It's been known to happen.
Yep.
Well, that distracted me for at least a minute. But
Very nice
I'm
poem.
gonna have to
Barry.
write down this distraction I have. I'll tell you because it's not rated X or anything. But somebody loves you when they put on the shorts you wore in high school for PE. I'm very confused because I want to find her attractive, but those shorts. Oh, it was a boys' school, Bosco Tech. I'm totally confused. All right, but that's my problem. I'll try to
Was it
distract
like,
myself.
was it as a joke? Was it like
Well,
for humor?
No, she's wearing it. She washed
he's
them. It's
reminding
like
you
the
of when you were young and hot.
oh God.
Maybe she thinks
No,
it's funny, but like
the
it's as a
hotness didn't
humor.
happen until after. I got to get my name up here so I can do a poem. Let's see. What's my name again? Okay, that should be enough. Well, all right, weather. Little did I know I had written 3 weather poems 18 years ago. Amazing things you can dredge up. This first one, I think you'll catch the analogy very quickly. It's called Weather in the Body. It's easy to see. Dark clouds are disturbing eyes. There must be a cold front developing nasally. A look down throat confirms slick roadway. Rumblings inside stomach indicate shift to high pressure, creating change in wind direction. Earthquake follows, followed by flash flood. Expected mudslide comes later that evening. In morning, clear vision again, but low approaches. Precipitation, sign of instability. Okay. And just to get your minds off of that, if I may be self-indulgent, I'll read another one. This is bad weather poem. Gray clouds dominate sky like rolls of stomach fat. Darkened mountains line horizon like piles of bat guano. Wind topples trees to look like awful toupees. Rain falls like gods peeing on their people. Concrete gutter rivers take fast food cups and wrappers away. Fast food cups and wrappers wedge into iron drain grill. Soaked streets glisten like diseased black veins. Grass matted down like a beatnik haircut. Snow covers peaks like bird poop on statues. Chill permeates skin like death acquiring a soul. And just so we have time for some commercials, I'm going to skip the third poem. If you want to read it, head over to the website at the Good Weather Poem. And so the commercial is next week, right? We have a reading at the Lamanda Park Branch Library. We'll have 2 featured poets, and we'll be reading from Turtle Island Poetry, issue number 3, March 2026. It's really gorgeous. Thanks to Belinda Superman's painting on the cover. Thank you so much, Belinda. And what else is happening tomorrow? Heather's got something going. Hey, Heather, you want to tell them about it?
Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time on the SAP Zoom channel. Bring your troubled poems to share. It's called Poetic Problems, a workshop where we're kind of like American Idol, but we're not, where you get all the feedback you want, out of order. And yeah.
I'm on the panel.
Yes, Don is on the panel, as is Jackie and Marvin Lewis Dorsey. If he is not working, he will be there, but I don't know his schedule this week. Yes. And then you get to judge the judges as well. So unlike American Idol, it's as if Simon Cowell then got up to sing and then everybody else judged him too. So We're
We
all
get
Simon
our
Cowell.
revenge on Heather. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was comparing you to Simon Cowell, not so much
Oh,
myself.
me.
I'm joking. I don't know who's Simon Cowell in this. Let's be Paula Abdul. She's cooler, but
Yes.
um,
If Simon Cowell wrote poetry, wow, what would that be like? All
that'll
right.
be something.
Let's see.
But yeah,
So that date exactly is March 22nd, which is the
yeah.
fourth Sunday of the month. So there is no performance workshop in case anybody wanted to know about that. That won't happen again until April 4th. And we have a really great guest performing on April 4th. April 4th at 4 p.m. The legendary Corey Kofer will be performing, and he is one of the most outstanding performance poets you'll ever see. He leads the poetry reading in Pomona. So many P's, which is a legendary reading as well. It's called "A Mic and Dim Lights." So catch him April 4th at 4 p.m. on this very same channel. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to get Patrick's book
And
and
next
Mary's
week,
book.
and next,
What
yeah,
did we
and
forget?
next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I will do my absolute best to be here to host reading of Turtle Island for those who can't get to
Oh yeah,
California.
you cannot be in Pasadena. That's right. Thank you, Ari.
Right.
All
We're
right.
all in California, but traveled north.
It's a bit of a trek from Oakland. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Bit of a trek. Okay. Thank you again, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording. That's for sure.